Hi, how's it going? I was wrong about Death Stranding. At least I was when it released. And I listened to everyone's garbage takes on it instead of just playing it and figuring it out for myself. And I know that there's a lot of people that are probably in the same boat that I was. I mean, I saw the criticisms. It was just a walking simulator and nothing else. Domino's delivery driver simulator. Although you do deliver a pizza twice. But still, a lot of people just did not get the game, the point of it, and that is evident by how people who have never played it talk about it. Here's the thing, you've probably heard the phrase, it gets good after blank. It gets good at the 45-hour mark, just keep playing. That is fucking stupid for anything. Any game or show, anything, it is a stupid belief to have. If you're playing a game and you're only playing it because it gets good after X, you aren't going to like it ever. Because you went in with the opinion that you're going to dislike it and are waiting for this magical revelation around the 12-hour mark that will just never come. And look, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Death Stranding is a really weird and niche game. I'm not trying to say that you're stupid if you don't like it, or you just didn't understand the creative blah blah blah. I'm genuinely just trying to say that the game is made for a certain demographic of people, and I think it kind of thrives because of that. The developer didn't set out to capture everyone, they set out to impress a select number of people, and I can kind of respect doing that. It feels like every other developer is reaching for those Call of Duty, FIFA type of sales numbers, but they kind of forget that, in a sense. The only way to get those kinds of numbers is to be a bit generic and bland, I suppose. So it's always really cool when a developer picks a vision and just sticks with it and they execute their creative vision regardless of whether or not it's marketable or will sell. It's admirable. You have to admit that. In my opinion, this is Death Stranding's biggest problem. It makes you wait, it makes you slog, and it makes you earn it. The genius of it is that the gameplay is so in line with the story. Just keep pushing, just keep going, keep on keeping on, persevere because you're the last hope humanity really has. You feel alone, you feel like you're the only person trying to reconnect the world, and that's because you are. Death Stranding puts the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you just have to carry it one step at a time, both figuratively and literally. The technology needed to reconnect the world has to be brought on foot. The supplies these outposts need can't be printed. They need to be manufactured and transported, and you don't need to do any of it other than what the story requires. But you are rewarded for it, for continuous service. You get upgrades, weapons, tools, transportation. By connecting the world, you're able to make your load lighter for both you and other players around you. Another genius thing that Death Stranding does is that it slowly removes that loneliness. As you reconnect the world, you connect to other players, their structures, their buildings, the tools and cargo they leave behind. You can choose to load equipment into lockers for new players to find and use, or you yourself can open a locker made by a player and take from it yourself. And it's really up to you whether you take it on alone or you connect with the world around you. The thing I like about Death Stranding is that it doesn't really restrict you to playing the game how the developer wants. For example, they tell you how bad killing is. They show you the results of what happens when someone is killed, but they don't stop you from killing. They let you do it, and then they leave you with the aftermath of your own actions. I don't even want to use the word punish because you're outright told and then shown exactly what happens. If you choose to do it anyway, you can't really act like it wasn't solely your fault. They give you plenty of non lethal methods to remove enemies from the fight. My personal favourite being throwing a package at their fucking heads. But you have to really go out of your way to actually kill anyone. Again, the best way to make the game easier is to just play it. You unlock new methods of travel, tools, vehicles, ziplines. exoskeletons to make you faster, make you stronger. So from here on out, I am going to focus more on visuals, gameplay, and story. So there will be spoilers for a game that came out 5 years ago. If you were just about to get around to playing it and get spoiled, that's just too bad, honestly. Also, I'm gonna say Kojima a lot, and by that I mean Kojima Productions. I just find it to be a bit of a mouthful, and whether you like him or not, you have to admit that Kojima is talented and incredibly creative, and the worlds that we have wouldn't have been possible without him and the team of people that surround him. Think of Kojima Productions as a cage which stops Hideo from making games that would actually fucking kill you. I'm being serious, some of the ideas this man has are just fucking psychotic, so we should really thank Kojima Productions for keeping him on a leash. Otherwise, I think he would have made a game that actually blows up your PC if you die. Touching on visuals, Death Stranding is a very pretty game. The art style is incredible, it has a lot of beautiful landscapes. The buildings look unique, like everything from the buildings to the gear you use is all very stylized and just looks cool. The game also does a lot of visual storytelling, which I really like. It takes a sort of show don't tell approach, except it shows you and then afterwards it tells you in case you didn't pick it up the first time. The first cutscene in the game tells you two things without saying a word. Number one, rain is bad, dangerous, don't underestimate it. And two, avoid the Black Tower. We see Sam trying to outrun the rain while being chased by a set of black handprints, which leave a tar substance in their wake. And then, in case you weren't paying attention, they straight up tell you that rain's bad, handprints are bad. And I think it's a good approach. Observant players can pick up on this stuff just by looking, while others can be spoon fed the information they need. And it does it often. Like when you first encounter BTs or mules, you have to fight them off or escape first, and then the game explains what they are and why they are. The game also has so many weird little details. Timefall is what the rain is. It accelerates the scale at which things age. This again is shown in the first cutscene, but also every time it rains, you see the plants on the ground, flowers, they rapidly grow, wilt, die, and then grow again, tens or hundreds of times over. Like, there are so many little interactions that you may never see in a single playthrough. Sam has at least 20 just in the private room alone. Like, some of them have prerequisites, such as you do runs for the Timefall farmers, get sent beer, get drunk, and then you beat the shit out of your infant son. If you enter the private room on your birthday, you get a special scene. The game is so packed with little things that you may never see unless you play it at specific times or through multiple playthroughs of it. One of the coolest details I've ever seen a game do are these paths on the ground. You might be thinking that it's an intentional dev choice to give players an idea of where to go, but it isn't. These paths are created by players. Like in real life, paths of desire are dynamic, and they're a result of many players taking the same shortcut over the course of the entire game. The paths are easier to walk on than the regular slick dirt or grass, meaning that you're making the journey easier for the players that come after. It's such an incredible little detail that I just don't think any other developer would even think about. And ultimately, this is what makes Death Stranding just so unique and cool. Half of the world building is a collaborative effort by the players. The packages that you see lying on the ground, abandoned vehicles and equipment, these tools and packages were once a part of someone else's journey, and now they're a part of yours. And after, they will be a part of someone else's. The social strand system is such a unique mechanic for a single player game. The game doesn't have traditional multiplayer or co op, but I would recommend playing it online as you miss out on so much otherwise. The game also has a hilarious amount of cameos.
Right there.
Is that
Hate for this to be the last
is
time
that
we meet,
Jeff fucking
So,
Keighley?
I'm gonna need a moment to look over what you brought me.
Kojima is a bit of a selfie merchant and has a lot of connections. And there are people who just want their face in his game solely just to exist in it. And as such, you get shit like Conan O'Brien living in a cave with a cosplayer, Junji Ito, Edgar Wright, Sam Lake. There's a shit ton of people in this game solely just to exist within it. Like fucking one of the main characters has their likeness based off of fucking Guillermo del Toro. The social strand system also does a lot for the gameplay. The intention is that with each new area, you're supposed to carve your own path disconnected from the chiral network. And once you reconnect an area, you gain access to all of the creations made by other players to make subsequent trips easier for both you and the people that come after. And what's really cool is you get to see the path you took and compare it to other people. So, in a sense, you can learn the little tricks that other people learned by straight up just looking at how they progressed the same path that you did. And while certain structures are built solely by one player, there are specific structures which are collaborative efforts. The highways, for example. When you get to a reconstruction point, you can offer up materials to build a road to make travel easier. And the cool thing is, other than a couple tutorial sections, the majority of road sections can be worked on by multiple people over different saves, meaning that you could submit some materials, come back, and someone will have finished the road for you. And this helps a lot with the later sections, as the material requirements rise relative to how far away they are. Again, for a game that is supposed to be played in single player, this is a really cool feature to reinforce the idea of connection and removing the isolation, giving you the option of working with the community to achieve a goal that you all benefit from. The game also just has fantastic use of music. I want to take a moment to say that Low Roar, an artist you will hear a lot throughout this game, their frontman Ryan Karazija sadly passed away in 2022. And I'm really glad to have learned of their music through this game because it is just fantastic. And from what I've heard, the artist's family did give permission for unreleased music to be used within Death Stranding 2. But more than the licensed music, the original soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. Every song in the game was handmade for the exact tone. Every song feels depressing and then hopeful, just all at the same time. I've never really seen better use of music, or at least in terms of matching the vibe of a game. It's just really damn good music. And the story, genuinely, I could not summarize the story in a video of just this length. There's so much to it, from before the game to the current time the game takes place in, so much visual storytelling. The characters are great, the character growth Sam experiences throughout the entire game is just incredible, and I just cannot put into words how much I love it. Sam goes from someone who is literally allergic to human touch, a loner who only ever lives and works for himself, and throughout the course of the game, he changes so many people, their thoughts, and their outlook on life. He himself changes over the course of the game. His fear of human touch, his trauma, he learns to not only accept his past and who he is, but he also embraces his new role in this world. From my little viewpoint, Sam is on the end of his rope at the start of the game, basically just surviving, not living. A depressed man who is basically immortal. He cannot die in a way that really matters. He just gets back up again. And while reluctant, he takes on the responsibility because it's something worth fighting for. And through this, he learns to love and connect and ultimately embrace his life. Really big spoilers here, but the last mission of the game genuinely brought me to tears. I cannot even say how long it has been since a game was able to get this kind of emotion out of me, but it fucking did, dude, and it was so heartbreaking and then hopeful. Like, I cried once and I nearly cried again. It's one of those games where I just sat staring at the credits as they rolled on, wondering if I will ever feel this way about a game again. Not to mention, the whole twist of the game is that Sam is the reason the world is the way it is. While not explicitly stated, it is heavily implied that Sam being killed and then revived, gifted with repatriation, tore a hole in the world, allowing BTs to enter our world from the beach, and finding out that Sam's whole mission, the whole idea of reconnection, while good in purpose, was a manipulation by Amelie, or Bridget, to further the Death Stranding. Amelie is an extinction entity. The meteor that killed the dinosaurs, the Black Plague, the Death Stranding is simply another force of nature designed to just throw a big stone at humanity, and Amelie is the stone. Finding out that basically everything you've done, thinking that you're saving the world, was merely forwarding her plans to ultimately end it, was genuinely something else. The storyline with Cliff Unger, which is told over 3 missions set in 3 different time periods, was also just an incredible spectacle. It really just, you can really just let loose. The Cliff Unger storyline is told in fragments, not necessarily in order, but if you piece together these missions and the flashbacks, it tells a really depressing story of a father who just wanted what was best for his child, Sam, and how at the end of his story he lets go. He gives up his rage, knowing that his son made it and lived. Every story in this game is so depressing, yet at the same time hopeful. It's such a strange combination of tones that just kind of works. Even Higgs, after the reveal that he was just another pawn of Amelie, he believed himself to be chosen by God to end humanity. He just lusts for power and destruction, and after realizing Sam's existence is basically the opposite of his, chooses to go out swinging in probably the best boss fight in the entire game. No respawns, no weapons, just a good old fashioned fucking fist fight. I'm looking to the future here because I'm writing this the week before Death Stranding 2 releases. Dude, I'm really fucking excited with Death Stranding 2. And I love how the gameplay has sort of changed to fit the part of the story we are now in. Death Stranding 1 was all about isolation and connection. You travelled alone, connected the world, and slowly you shook off your loneliness. Again, at the start of the game, Sam is literally allergic to human touch. And then as the game plays out, Sam opens up more about himself and his past and why he is the way he is. By the end of the game, Sam's whole character has changed, just as the world around you has changed. He has links and bridges, no longer just a lone porter. Death Stranding 1 focuses on the reconnecting, and Death Stranding 2, from the trailers, looks like it's going to focus on the consequences of reconnecting. It looks like it's more combat oriented, less of the walking and delivering, more gameplay focused, like strategy to deal with new enemies, new missions. I'm sure the void outs are still going to be an issue, but most likely the game will have new ways to deal with it, non lethal or otherwise. Death Stranding 1 was so much more focused on story, while 2 seems to be putting a bigger emphasis on gameplay, giving you a lot more options to deal with the new world that you created in 1. Like, genuinely, if you didn't give Death Stranding a chance, I highly recommend you give it just a once over. Try finding a way to get it at a discount if you have to, and just give it a chance. Don't go in with any expectations. Don't expect it to blow you away. Don't expect it to all of a sudden get amazing after 6 hours. Just play it. And if it's not the game for you, then that's okay. It's made to appeal to a certain type of person, and if you aren't that type of person, that is okay. Not every game is made for everyone. Sometimes it's okay to miss out on something if you aren't personally interested in it. In a sense, this isn't really a game that you can just take someone else's word on. You just have to sort of dive in and see for yourself if you like it or don't. Ride with Norman Reedus.